What if the biggest threat to public health isn't obesity? What if it's bad faith journalism and we're watching it in real time? So the Health Secretary lays out a plan, not to ban snacks, not to raid your cupboards, but to work with supermarkets to gently shift how products are displayed and promoted. You know, like putting fruit near the front instead of, chocolate.
Let's just have this in front of us. My favourite milk chocolate bar carries 100 calories in every 3 squares. My favourite ice cream adds about another 100 calories. How do you plan to prevent me buying either of them without provoking a riot?
I'm not interested in stopping you buying things.
Are you going to stop me eating what I want to eat?
No, I'm not going to be looking over your shoulder, and this is the greatest temptation I've exercised in front of a bowl
by
of
all means,
sweets
go
for a
ahead.
long time.
It's on Sky budget,
so what we are doing is a radically different and world-first approach to how we think about our diet, nutrition and sales in the supermarket. By taking the approach we're taking with supermarkets, they will decide through the combination of where they put their products, how they do price promotions, the reformulation, what products they choose to put on the shelves. They will work with us to make sure that we nudge people in the right direction without any of us even noticing, in the same way that we've nudged the country in the other direction since the 1990s. So making the healthy choice the easy choice, that's it.
All I'm going to tell you is wherever they put the crisps, I'm going to find them.
No one's going to stop you from buying anything. There's no calorie police hiding your Frosties. But when Trevor Phillips gets hold of it, suddenly it's the government preventing me from buying a chocolate bar. He doesn't just say it once, he turns it into a headline, and in the follow-up, he repeats it to Helen Wheatley as if it's confirmed policy. And of course, she bites.
That he plans to work with supermarkets to prevent us, frankly me, from buying or having 100 calories a day. Now, what do you make of that?
Well, what do I make? I mean, I worked in healthcare for years before I became an MP, and I was a health minister as well. And I know that we have a challenge with obesity and how healthy or unhealthy our diets are. But my reaction to what the Health Secretary was talking about this morning is, they had 14 years in opposition to think about what they wanted to do about the NHS. They've had a year in government, and the Health Secretary is briefing out their 10-year plan for the NHS. And the number one thing in it seems to be hide the crisps. I mean, to me, it's obviously a nanny state, but it's also not what people want for the NHS.
Just like that, we're off on a completely different debate. Nobody's talking about fresh food being too expensive. Nobody's talking about how 11 billion a year is going to treat preventable conditions. And nobody seems interested in the actual policy, just the spin. Because here's what's actually said. No bans, no restrictions, just supermarket shelf placement, data nudges and healthier promotions. That's it. The biggest state overreach here is moving the crisps a few feet away. And this isn't new. This is the same playbook we've seen for years. Take a policy, misrepresent it, shove it into a culture war box, and now instead of talking about making fruit affordable or fixing the NHS access, we're debating whether moving ice cream in the freezer aisle is government tyranny. And then we get to Labour's first year school report. And who does Sky News invite? Not an independent analysis, not a neutral voice, but Sir Anthony Seldon. Now yes, he is an historian, fair, but what they don't tell you is that he's also a man who literally wrote the book on Liz Truss, Truss at 10, a brutal post-mortem of a 49-day disaster, and yet when asked about Starmer's leadership, he says this.
I think it is absolutely right that not in 100 years, Trevor, has anyone made such an inept start coming into the office of Prime Minister, the highest office in the country, with so little idea about what he's doing.
And then, without a shred of irony, he adds,
when you say not in 100 years, I can hear people already shouting at the telly, Liz Truss.
Hey, at least Liz Truss had a clear plan, Trevor. And, it was the right plan. And it's the plan that Starmer needs to have. Nothing matters more than growth and optimism. And Liz Truss had growth as her core objective, and she had optimism. She just went about it in totally the wrong way.
The right plan. The one that tanked the pound, shattered mortgage rates and almost collapsed pension funds. So which is it, Anthony? Is Liz Truss a warning, as your book suggests, or is she secretly a model of modern leadership? Because it sure looks like someone's rewriting their own conclusions when the camera's rolling and the political target is Labour. This isn't about holding power to account, this is about controlling the fame. One moment the news twists a health policy into a personal liberty fight, the next they're putting Truss's biographer on screen to defend her record while quietly bashing the current government. This isn't journalism, it's theatre. It's how you turn politics into propaganda without ever having to lie. So no, don't always trust what the news is telling you, not because it's all fake, but because it's created, framed, delivered with a slant you weren't supposed to notice. And if you're not paying attention, they'll sell you a spin that a convicted criminal should be free to walk the streets. And you can find out more about that story in the video that's on screen now. Thanks for watching, don't forget to hit that like button, and I'll see you next time.